dolls. Something else I wanted to bring attention to was dry brushing. So when was first recovering, there was not a lot of information around about the benefits of dry brushing and how it could potentially help me recover from my surgery and how it could aid in lymphatic drainage. But I had one of these babies and I had been dry brushing um, for several years and I knew its benefits. And so I looked it up when I was about, I think I was going into my second week, and I started doing it at 12 days post op. Something that I'll just say as a disclaimer, I made sure that my incisions were all healed before I started doing this. This is not going to be something that you'd want to do with open incisions for hygienic and infection purposes. So basically dry brushing is, which I would recommend that you Google it, but basically dry brushing, it's a really soft but hard bristled brush. It's called a hard bristle brush, but it's like soft and gentle. It's not like a makeup brush, but it's not like, it's not like a steel sponge. Somewhere in between. It feels really, really good on the skin, especially if your skin is really dry. But what it does is it stimulates the lymphatic system to move through your body and help drain any swelling. And by drain, I don't mean out through the incisions. I mean like through your body the way that it's supposed to and out through your urine. So it's really important that if you're going to do this, you're going to drink a lot of water to help flush it out. It's good for aiding in blood flow. And I kid you not, I really contribute this and doing this consistently every day to really help keeping that fat to survive. Because if you think about it, without blood flow to that area, there's not going to be any healing. And if we want those fat cells to survive, we really want to make sure that it's getting a consistent and really good supply of blood. So I did this every single day. Before I got in the shower, I would dry brush my body. And something that got a lot of likes in my DMs the other day was this oil. I don't know if you can see it, but it is a Neutrogena body oil. I believe it's sesame. It smells so good. It's very light. You can see the consistency of the oil. It's almost like a water. I like to use oils on my skin rather than lotion. That's just how I've always been. I grew up in a tropical climate. I was always on the beach. I always used, obviously, oils on the beach, but I continued to use them. Like when I would get out of the shower, I looked for body oils rather than a lotion. And I've just done it my whole life ever since. And so I would dry brush before I got in the shower. And then once my skin could handle it, I would exfoliate in the shower. And then I would use this oil afterward. And every single day, for the first 2 to 3 weeks, I would self-massage. And let me be clear when I say that. I did not skip professional massages thinking that my self-massage was enough. I massaged myself in addition to professional massage. So I was going on a regular basis and getting professional massages for lymphatic drainage and sculpting post-lipo. But I was also massaging myself after I got out of the shower, and this oil was so good because it helped my hands glide across my skin really easily and really nicely. And when this area was so sensitive for so long, it was key in like just helping. It just was a very comfortable touch. So I highly recommend an oil. I really like this one. It also comes in an unscented form if you don't really like the idea of a scent. And I got it on Amazon, as always, per usual. I got this brush at, I believe, the Body Shop, but I have, as if you couldn't already guess, I have linked one in my link tree in my bio to Amazon, which comes in a set of two. There's one that I believe has a long handle, and then a second brush that comes in the set for like the whole set is 15 bucks for the two of them, and one that just has like just the brush without the handle, so it's like a handheld one. And that would have been really good for me to have when I was doing it here, because I just held it like this, and sometimes the handle would get in the way and bump me and stuff. It's not a big deal, but kind of cool that you have the two options in that kit. So first, I recommend that you Google what dry brushing is and what its benefits are. Second, I recommend that you don't do this until your incisions are healed, fully closed, no drainage whatsoever, and no sign of like a very new scar. Like make sure that they're starting to scab and really, really no chance of opening up. And then join me in this video. So basically what you want to do is you have lymph nodes across your body. There's one here, there's a couple in your neck, throat area. I believe there's some here. I didn't look up my chart right before I started this. There's definitely some here. There's some behind the knees. So kind of like I would look at a chart while I was doing this. I never really cared to look at the chart while I was doing this before my procedure, but for the purposes of like healing and post BBL, I would kind of follow along with a chart. And so a lot of the charts that you'll find if you Google them give you like a direction. So they'll be like they'll note where the lymph nodes are. There's some at the elbow crease too. And if you'll notice, the creases of our elbows are similar to the creases of our knees. And so like everything on our body is pretty much symmetrical. And so like there's a method to the way that you do this is my point. And so on all the charts that I've ever seen for dry brushing, it kind of guides you in the direction that you should be going. So there'd be like little arrows on the picture. So you basically want to start farthest away from your heart, so that'd either be your feet or your hands, and then move closer to the heart. But you want to do it in small sections. So for instance, I would start with my hand and only do this one piece at a time. And I would make sure that I fully and completely brushed my hand a few times, opening up all of your fingers and really getting in there and going across it a couple times. I didn't count. I didn't do it perfectly. I just made sure to generally get the same amount of strokes on each section. And you're just going to use a light pressure. This shouldn't be a very hard brush. You shouldn't be pushing down on your skin and flattening the brush out and pushing. It should just be a very surface stroke. So just the softest touch of the brush is what's going to stimulate that fluid to get moving. So you'll go to the hand to the wrist, and then from the wrist to the elbow. You don't have to trace back over the hand because that hand has now flushed up into the forearm. And so basically you're just going to like visualize fluid moving through your arm. Now you've flushed out the forearm, and you're going to go over the elbow and the crease of your elbow up into your bicep. Do it around a couple times. And then you can go up the bicep to the shoulder. Really make sure that you get all the way around that arm. And you go in the same direction each time. So in other words, don't go down and up. You want to go up toward the heart only. So the only time the brush is on my skin is when I'm dragging it up. And that's really what it is, just a light drag. And so here's the important part. Once you get to that lymph node area, see now, kind of points for me to have a shirt on. You would do this without clothing on or with just a bra. You would kind of bring that fluid under the breast toward the heart and around from the shoulder toward the heart. And again, this is where you're going to follow a chart and not me. I'm just kind of giving you an idea how to do it. And so you're going to do the same thing on the other side. Stop where you were, on whatever side you were, and do the same thing. Really get in there. It feels so delicious. You can feel your skin just kind of like, God, it's like a drink of water for your veins and your skin. And let me tell you something, when you are itchy, holy Lord, this is one of the best feelings on earth. Oh my God, it feels so good to me right now. And it's been 6 months. Oh, it felt so good in this area. So good. I can only describe it as delicious. You're gonna bring it from that elbow and you're gonna go down and down. I'm wearing 2 layers right now. So I have a shirt and like a bandeau bra on right now. So this is kind of like not really doing anything for me. You would not have anything here. So you would really coax that fluid toward the heart. Now you kind of want to come, remember I said we were going toward the heart. So for the throat one, you want to go down. Go down on the neck. So good. It feels so good. It's just stimulating. It's stimulating. It really is. Under. Really drag all that stuff. Visualize those toxins just like leaving your body. All that. Now, the middle area, there's like mixed reviews on how you should do this. Some people say you should do circular motions. Some graphics I've seen say you want to go like down at the top of your abdomen and like up from the bottom of your abdomen. I like to just bring the whole thing down because if it's going towards the lymph nodes, it's going down here. But you can get into a groove and do whatever you want based on what graphic you're using, what research you're finding. Just make sure that you're consistent in whatever pattern that you use. You want to just make sure that it's even and similar on all sides, and you're not going side to side. I just did by accident one swipe there, but you're not going side to side, and you're not going in the opposite direction of what you were before. So again, we're going to start at the, hold on to this. You're going to start at the feet, and you're going to go just like the hands. Do the bottom of the feet too. Top of the foot, bottom of the foot, up through the ankle, like the wrist, right? So the ankle is like a mirror of our wrist. Get all the way around, upward strokes, and then up the shin and the calf. I feel my body like getting warm by doing this. It's like it's not scary at all. It's just like nourishing. It's the strangest feeling. You can actually feel this working. Get the back of the knee, front of the knee. This is where I think I would prefer a handheld one. Go up from the knee, over that thigh. Now I'm going to pay some special attention to the booty and the hips in a second, but I'm just going to do the whole thing as I would. Okay, now I had the transfer here, I had the transfer here. So I liked to go across my whole body, really get them into the nodes. I like to go over my butt gently. I would do this a couple times, and I would do circular motions on my butt, just really lightly. Just get that blood flowing. Make it a little pink, you know? Get those blood cells rushing to that fat. Oh, so good. This is not from my recent surgery, by the way. It's from one of the hundreds of surgeries I've had in my life. And I really wanted to go over that transferred area. Now, again, I see so many women lose the transfer in their dips Try this. Try this. As you get to that fatty, get it into the groin there. And I believe on the chart it tells you to go outward from, what is this bone? I mean, like your hip bone, yeah, but it says go like outward from this, we're not here for an anatomy lesson, okay? But it says to go outward on the cheeks and like around the hip to the front groin. But I just like to pay some extra special attention right there for a little while. And just go around that fat on the hip. Mm-hmm. I cannot even tell you guys how good this is. Gotta do it, gotta do it. You gotta try it. If you try it, let me know how you like it. And that's really it. I would spend time on it and I would make it a ritual for myself and I would do it nightly. And I can tell you that when I didn't do it, I noticed a difference in how I felt. And I won't necessarily say I noticed a physical difference, like visually, in how I looked, but I can definitely tell you that it played a huge part in my recovery, and I'm definitely an advocate for it. I started sharing about it, and I see a lot more people talking about this now as an aid to their recovery and part of their aftercare process, which is so great because I'm really convinced that this helps me in so many ways. So if you haven't tried it, I highly recommend it. And again, the oil I'll link below, of course, as usual. I love to do the oil. So I dry brushed before the shower, did whatever I needed to do in the shower. If I felt like exfoliating, I did. If I didn't, then I didn't. But then I definitely used this oil afterwards to self-massage, and that would just give like an added boost to the lymphatic system to help drain. So let me know what you guys think and how you're enjoying it. And I hope you love it as much as I did. Thanks for watching.